What's happening, guys? It is Monday here on Wake Up Barstool, meaning it's me, Brandon Walker, Dave Portnoy, Meek Phil and Bluttman. We got a big show. A lot happened in the NFL yesterday. We'll give it all to you, as well as interesting college football Saturday. Playoffs continue to take shape. And our own Robbie Fox, the UFC fight. Will recap it all here on Wake Up Barstool. What's going on, y'all? What's up, FS1? What's up, world? Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's have some fun this morning, talking some sports. Dave Portnoy, what's going on? You had quite the weekend, but how about that NFL action yesterday, guys? How are we feeling, Dave, after another great Sunday of NFL football?
I feel good. October 11th. I don't know if that date means anything to either of you. The last time I lost a football game. That's last time. And I've been doing the math, trying to find, because a lot of guys have their NFL teams, their college team. I'm obviously Patriot Michigan. I don't know that there's anybody that has a longer win streak, because the Patriots have the longest win streak in the NFL. So who would you pair that with? I think I probably have the longest win streak of any human right now alive with my favorite teams.
Could there be a Broncos Texas A&M fan out there?
Yeah,
perhaps?
But the Broncos have lost more recently than the Patriots.
They've won 8 in a row as well. I think both are up to 8 in a row, right? Patriots
you're ignoring the obvious. Could there be an Ohio State Patriots fan who hasn't lost at all this year?
That's true.
There probably is.
Yeah, Travion Henderson.
No, there's none. There's none. Okay. Travion Henderson is.
I don't think those go together.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, the point is, it's a great time to be me.
Dave, when would you say it was the last? When was the last time that it was not a great time to be Dave?
Well, there's there really hasn't been too many droughts.
So the Patriots have stunk until this year, but Michigan was carrying his load.
Yeah.
Right. And there was all these things. So every time one of his teams goes down, another one steps up. Meanwhile, my teams all just go down at the same time and sleep forever. So I'm happy for Dave myself.
Could it be me?
It was a good weekend of football. It was fun. We were at Wrigley for a big noon kickoff. That was obviously quite the spectacle. Michigan showed the guts of the burglar. Absolute warrior mentality. You don't win too many football games when you turn the ball over 5 times, find a way to win. And like you said, good football across the board. The Eagles certainly showed that they're for real. I have a list that I don't know if I want to get into it. I have my real teams.
Yeah, let's start with the list.
All right, here's real quick. Here's at this point in the season for the NFL, my real teams and my cute teams, okay?
Okay.
Real signifies these teams could win the Super Bowl. If you placed a Super Bowl bet on them right now, I wouldn't blink twice. I think you could make a legitimate argument to all of them. The cute teams, this is a compliment. These are teams that are having good seasons. They are not Super Bowl contenders, though, but their fan bases should be very happy with the season they had. So I will start with the cute teams, okay?
Okay.
Here's the teams these fans should wake up. They should feel great. Birds are chirping. They're having a season they didn't expect, probably. Bears, Panthers, Seahawks, Steelers, Colts, Jags. Those are all teams that, in my mind, are outperforming what you thought. They're all having good seasons. They all have good records. They all haven't been great. Good, cute, clean season. You pat them on the butt. Hey, little Johnny, good season. Now, here's the teams that have their eyes on the prize, the eyes on the Lombardi Trophy, that aren't getting too excited right now because they know we're only in early November and the real football starts being played early December, late December, January, February, all right? The Patriots, the Bills, the Broncos have moved up. That was an impressive win that they had yesterday against the Chiefs. The Eagles, clearly defending Super Bowl champions, absolutely putting the clamps on the lines. Eagles could be a problem with that defense. So the Eagles, the Lions, even though they lost, I still think they're a Super Bowl contender, in the Rams. So there you go. Those are my only teams right now. Patriots, Bills, Broncos, Eagles, Lions, Rams. That's it. those are the only teams in the hunt for the Super Bowl, the big prize at the end.
Okay, I'm fine with the list. I do want to ask about the Broncos and why you've got them out of the cute category and into the good category, because yesterday was impressive, but they have had a lot of games this year where they played lesser teams, and like the Texans a couple weeks ago, they ended up winning 18-16. They play with their food a lot, and they're winning a lot of close games at the end. They don't really have these dominant stretches like these other teams, like the Patriots have had. So what makes the Broncos real instead of cute?
Well, you go and you beat the Chiefs in a game that the Chiefs absolutely need to have. Now, the Chiefs aren't on any of my list,
right?
Because I don't think Chiefs fans are certainly happy with this. And you want to hear, there were a lot of insulting, dumb things that happen every single football weekend, from the Texas A&M cop to pushing whatever. The most insulting thing that I heard or saw all weekend was Bo Nix in his post-game interview. He's getting interviewed. I forget who was doing it. And he says, they got a good team over there. They played us hard. For Bo Nix to say that about the Kansas City, hey, give them credit. They got a good team over there. They pushed us. I was like, whoa, you're talking about the Chiefs? And by the way, the Chiefs are virtually eliminated now from winning that division.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have the Ravens on that list either, if you notice. I know a lot of people are talking about the Ravens. Oh, they play in this crap division. They're going to be in the playoffs. They are going to be in the playoffs. The Ravens are not very good. They look like trash against the Browns. They may get in by virtue of the fact of what division they play in, but I am not scared of the Ravens at all. And people are giving the Ravens far too much credit. They're expecting the Ravens, if you look in the hunt here, everyone is expecting the Ravens to overtake the Steelers. That's what's happening. And it probably will, because the Steelers stink too, but those teams aren't real. The Broncos here, number one, Patriots, number two, and the Bills are the good win three. The Chargers stink. The Jags, no threat. The Texans are a joke. The Chiefs are done. Their dynasty's over. The Ravens playoff Lamar, they may not even make it. The Dolphins even being on this list makes me want to puke. So there's three teams on this list that can win the AFC. The Broncos, the Patriots, the Bills. Those three, you got to give it to the Patriots. And I'm not just saying that as a six-time Super Bowl champ and fan of the team. They're right now the best team in the league.
You lived through the Patriots dynasty.
Correct.
You watched 6 Super Bowls. All this is correct. Yep. You saw multiple times in seasons when the Patriots weren't quite as good during that stretch where people would say, oh, this is it, Patriots dynasty over. You just did that to the Chiefs. How can you, as somebody who lived through it, do that to the Chiefs right now in one 5-5 stretch?
Well, a 5-5 stretch, that would go right up there with one of the worst seasons the Patriots ever had. All right. So, and I'm watching this team, and you know, Mahomes is great. He's not Brady. There's different, like the Patriots are the greatest franchise in the history of the NFL, Brandon. The Chiefs are I will give them a dynasty with the three, but there's been a lot of dynasties. The Cowboys, the Steelers. Do you want? Who else would you put in that 49ers?
Broncos went back-to-back, and then Elway retired, so I don't know
if we're going to call that a dynasty, though.
Yeah, back-to-back's probably not a dynasty.
Niners in the 80s were a dynasty.
What?
The Niners in the 80s were a dynasty.
Yes, correct. I added them. Niners, Cowboys, Packers, right? That's it?
Steelers as well. Steelers in the 70s with 4.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Steelers, Niners, Cowboys.
Patriots.
And the Patriots are the dynasty of all dynasties. They're the best one. So the Chiefs go in with the others. They slot behind. Not all dynasties are created the same. The Patriots clearly. So to say the Chiefs are going to be like the Patriots, I don't believe that.
That wasn't the question, Dave. The question was, how could you, as a Patriots fan, every time, and you remember it, every time the Patriots would slip up a little bit during that dynasty, like they had 3 Super Bowls under their belt, 4, people would say dynasty is dead, Belichick's over, Brady's over. They would do it, and now you're doing it to the Chiefs. That's the only point I'm making.
Well, I would ask this, Dave.
This season, they're done this season. Maybe they come back as long as they get Mahomes. And then, but it's a fair question, Brandon. I love giving fair answers. The Patriots, if you recall their dynasty, they had to retool it, right? They had 2 versions, McGinnis, Brewski, those boys, Troy Brown. And then they come back, they retool it, and the Gronk dynasty, the Edelman dynasty, that dynasty reemerges. You have the same quarterback and same coach, but Kelsey's 107. He had a good game yesterday, but it's time they need the new players to come in. This is the middle. They're not a threat this year. If they were, they would have won that football game yesterday.
Let me ask you this, Dave. Outside of the Brady injury year, and I know they made the playoffs that year. I don't remember if they won the division.
The Brady injury year was one of the great teams they ever had, T-Bob. I'm glad you asked that question. Okay, they missed the playoffs. They ended in a spectacular run, but they didn't make the playoffs. Because I think they had the best record.
They were 11-5, right?
Not to make the playoffs. I think they needed the Jets to beat the Dolphins. Or 10-6. The defense was flying around. Matt Castle. Okay, no. That they were even good then.
No, okay, hold on. My question was going to be: if we're trying to adjudicate whether the Chiefs dynasty is done, how often did the Patriots lose the division in that run? Because right now, as you said, the AFC West is probably going to end outside of Kansas City for the first time since
injury year. None.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's what I'm saying. So to your point, if you're looking for something to build this argument on, the Chiefs have won the AFC West every year since 2016. That's ending this season.
They need a retooling. The Chiefs need a retooling. They got absolutely humiliated in the Super Bowl last year, and this year they don't have it. This is a game. If you believed in the Chiefs, and I was one of them, because it takes a lot for me to be a gravedigger on a team like the Chiefs because of what I've seen. It's like, no, the Chiefs will be the Chiefs. Chiefs will be the Chiefs. That was no fluke win yesterday for the Broncos. No. That was not. I thought they were the better team on the field.
Well, and Brandon, you asked, how can you believe in the Broncos? It's the defense. It's unbelievable. They have 49 sacks right now. Second place in the NFL are the Steelers with 33. So they're not just leading the league, they're lapping the field. They're second in scoring defense, they're third in yards per game allowed. That defense will travel anywhere. And Dave, you think about Drake May, young quarterback playing out of his mind, leading the NFL right now in quarterback ranking. You saw this with Brady as well. What's the way to beat an elite quarterback come playoff time? It's when you can consistently pressure them. It's odd because I agree, but that's fine. But what I'm saying is the Broncos right now, they're not that dynamic offensively, obviously. They're flawed, but Bo Nix is still solid. They're good on special teams. That is, I would say the Broncos, because of that defense, are as big, if not bigger, of a threat than anybody in the NFL to your Patriots.
Well, listen, I put the Broncos in my real category, so I'm not going to trash them. And there's no doubt that one of the bigger home field advantages in the National Football League is playing up in Denver, Mile High, the air, all that jazz. So you want home field advantage. I've seen great Patriot teams go down and lose in Denver because of the air. That's one of my my famous quotes I ever had. What happened is the air got us. So the Broncos are for sure for real. I don't know. Was that like a voodoo mind trick that you're asking me? That should have been Walker because I said the Broncos are real.
I'm just curious of your thoughts. You're very Drake May positive. I was just curious.
He's the MVP of the league. I don't think that's he's the MVP. He's the favorite for the MVP of the league.
And that's why
the one who's Drake May positive. I'm not looking at that with Patriot glasses. He's the favorite for the MVP of the league.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's pretty damn good as well right now.
So we're putting him in a Drake May's the second year in the league, and we're talking in the Hall of Fame already. He dropped to 185, so he's second. All right, fine. Stafford, Drake May, Josh Allen. That's pretty. He has pretty good company. All right. What do you want me to say?
No, let me ask about one more time.
Okay, yeah, go.
Because he had the Colts in the cute category. The Broncos, the Patriots, the Colts all have 2 losses in the AFC. The Colts had a bye already, so they're 8-2, I believe, not 9-2.
Yeah.
But you have them in the cute category, not the real category.
Yeah, Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
You just can't get there with him.
No, you can't. And he's going to throw in one of those dud games like Sam Darnold did yesterday. That's why the Seahawks are not in the real category. 4 interceptions. Sam Darnold, and I like the guy. If I saw him walking down the street, I'd say, hey, Sam, how you doing? Remember that time he got mono in New York from kissing a girl? We're friendly. So I like the guy. I don't want him playing quarterback for me in a big game. I just don't. And I like the guy. Now, could he prove me wrong? And maybe, but I'm very rarely proven wrong. I just don't think he is got that big game panache. I think this 4 interception game will come out, and that's how I feel about Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. I just feel like when the chips are down, he's not somebody I have elite confidence in. And these teams, for one way or the other, whether it's your quarterback, whether it's your defense, there's something elite about them that put me in the real category.
Meek, you had something you want to chime
Yeah, I
in?
was going to say a good nickname for Sam Darnold is Small Game Sam because he just doesn't show up in the big games. Simple as that.
Is it as much the big games or is it specifically?
It's the big games.
Hold on. Is it specifically LA? He lost to them twice last year. He got sacked 9 times in that playoff games against the Rams last year. He's looked fantastic every week but LA this year. It seems like Sean McVay just absolutely has his number.
You're also forgetting
That's who he lost to with the Vikings, you're saying?
Yeah.
What's that?
The weekend.
Yeah, sorry, yes. When he was with the Vikings last year, the Rams kicked his ass twice, including sacking him 9 times in the playoffs, which is an insane number for an NFL quarterback.
The Week 18 game versus Detroit last year, where if he won that, he could have avoided it, and they would have had the one seed.
That's true.
That's what I said. Small game Sam can't perform in the big games.
SGS.
Sam, did you get your Drake May nickname out there in the world?
People are calling him the schedule because they want to point out the Patriots have an easy schedule. But he's taking
Well,
advantage.
let me ask you this.
Meek, that's the most anti-Dave thing you've ever said.
I don't understand the weak schedule. I don't really care. Yes, the Jets stink. I mean, do the Buffalo Bills stink because we went on the road and beat Buffalo and Buffalo? Does the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stink because we went to Tampa on the road? Those are find me 2 teams with 2 better road wins than that.
That's very true. I mean,
Buck's stock a little down right now.
Meek, you had him.
Meek, you had him. Don't back off, dude.
people
You
are-
finally challenged him.
it's a nickname
We're
on
looking at
Twitter.
the schedule. Week 1, they're not ready to come out of the gate. The Raiders stink. If they play today,
That's
the Patriots
crazy.
be 25-point favorites. Dolphins, you beat. Steelers, we turn the ball over 5 times inside the 5-yard line. And then look at it. What you beat the Panthers, who are above 500.
Yeah.
And you kill them. You absolutely murder them. The Bills, I think people think they're a Super Bowl team. They're on my real list. You go into Buffalo, you humiliate them. Saints no good. Titans no good. Browns, you beat by 100. The Ravens were in a death struggle with them. Falcons, a pretty good team, 24-23. Bucks, what is this? I don't care about the schedule. This is dumb. You know who complain about schedule? Losers. Their teams are losers. In this league, as we say, every single week, it's hard to get a win. And you're going to complain. I'm trying to be nice and pass around. Again, Pats, Bills, Broncos, Eagles, Lions, Rams. Who would I put as a Super Bowl favorite amongst all of them right now?
The Pats.
Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. There we go. All right, guys, look, when we get back, we got plenty more NFL talk to get to. We still got to get to the college football weekend as well. Brandon's got us a brand new top 10 Heisman race, playoff races taking shape. We have the number 1 ball lower, Liam Bluttman, on the show today as well, so don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool right here on FS1.
Number 1 ball watcher.
Oh, ball watchers. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. It is Monday. We're recapping an entire weekend worth of football, but we have some breaking fight news. As of 17 minutes ago, according to Jake Paul, the fight is official. Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua will be squaring up. This is a fight that Dana White called a bad bleeping idea for Jake Paul. Him directly addressing, the critique of doesn't fight real boxers. Dave, what do you think?
All right, I'm a fight guy. I've been fascinated by Jake Paul, his career. I have lost interest in Jake Paul's career after he lost to one of the Fury's brother, the reality show guy.
Tommy.
I will tune into I can't even believe this is real. Like there's something so incredibly off to this because now Jake Paul has handpicked his opponents. He's usually bigger. He's usually 30 years younger. Yep. They're not fights. I said him versus Tyson was the easiest bet of all time. He almost should be in jail for the opponents that he picks. Like, that's how lopsided they are. Now, to go to a guy who at one point was considered the most talented heavyweight of all, like he could be the heavyweight champion. He's bigger than Paul. He's not that old. I have no idea what's going on here. I can't to go from fighting Mike Tyson to this guy and people. I am beyond confused. Part of me, the smart part of me, says there's something I'm missing. There is absolutely no way this fight is happening like a real fight. Why would Jake Paul do this? But I'm in. I'm gonna watch, and if everything I believe to be true, which is Anthony Joshua is a pretty good fighter. He's going to take this fight seriously. He could kill Jake Paul. So I have no idea what's going on.
Dave, the fight's in Miami. Can we expect you ringside?
I don't know. I'd like to go. Yeah, I may go. I didn't know it's in Miami. Something is off here. This does not pass the smell test at all. I have no idea what's happening.
Well, look, we got Robbie Fox coming on later. He's going to be talking UFC.
Walker wants to say something. I can see him getting.
I'm just sitting like I always sit. I'm sitting like I'm about to eat Thanksgiving
You didn't
dinner.
want to say something?
I was going to say something. The only thing is, I'm thinking about it from Jake Paul's perspective, and people have chirped him, and they've said, you don't fight real fighters, and you do all these things. So his answer is I don't fight real fighters? I'm going to fight Anthony Joshua. I'm not sure he's thinking ahead to, this guy might kill me. This guy might punch me until my face falls off. But do you think that's what he's doing? He's just answering his
No,
critics?
because they have the smartest people. His manager, Nakisa, is one of the smartest, most business-savvy guys I've ever met. You can make so much more money before you step to this still.
Yeah.
This is such a leap into the deep water. I just don't get it. And you can find, why don't you fight? I think he would have a better fight versus my brain, the Adderall hasn't kicked in. Who's the great Canelo? Canelo's like more his size. Like that would be more reasonable to me than this guy. This guy's a monster.
I don't know. I think Canelo would just punch him 30 times before Jake Paul even realized he was in a fight.
I don't know what Jake Paul's self-belief is.
He's going to make a lot of money.
I would imagine it's very high.
He makes money with everybody.
Yeah, he gets money with everybody. Everybody gets paid when they fight him, so I see why Josh was doing it, certainly. I think it's a situation where even if Paul loses, though, kind of like Brandon's getting at, you can no longer accuse him of being cowardly, if nothing else here, right? Like maybe he gets some sort of reputational points for going for it.
I'm not saying. I'm asking. I'm asking where the thought.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like it's almost reverse. Like, of course I didn't beat Joshua. He's 50 pounds bigger than me. And you can still lay claim to, well, I'm the best middleweight. I'm the best this. But I fought a heavyweight, so he's still not really fighting in his category, so to speak.
Yeah.
A lot of courage. If he's going in and Anthony Joshua is going in like, I'm going to kill this guy, got to give him a lot of courage because he can make money fighting anybody. He doesn't have to go get his brain knocked in to do it. And if Anthony Joshua is like motivated, he could kill him.
The only thing my brain can come up with is maybe it was starting to fade a little bit. Maybe the running out the boxers from 30 years ago was starting to fade, and he needed to juice it up a little bit. And maybe juice it up too much.
It's not really true. It's not really true. Like the numbers Tyson are crazy. It's one of the biggest events.
Yeah, the numbers are still insane.
Just asking, boys.
Speaking of insane numbers, Josh Allen yesterday, the Bills take care of the Bucs. Josh Allen has his second career game with 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Nobody else in NFL history has even done that once. They end up winning 44-32, an exciting game. And the Bills continue to be a kind of confusing team, guys. A lot of high highs, couple low lows, but this was a big stabilizing win for them that was needed. And now, I would say on the flip side, some shine knocked off of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
How about the Bucs? 4th and 2. 3-point, 4-point game you're losing. Nobody can stop anybody. It's 4th and 2 at the 40. They punt. I turned the channel. I took it off Red Zone. I said, this game's over. What an idiot. What an absolute moron in real time. You can't stop anybody. What are you doing? And before people maybe get off their knees with Josh Allen, yeah, great game. 2 interceptions. Listen, 2 interceptions. I'll take that. I'll let Josh Allen. I'm Patriots. We know how to beat this guy. We already proved it. We're going to get him back at home at Foxborough. He throws one of those interceptions was one of the worst passes I've ever seen. He shovel passed the ball to a guy out of traffic. So listen, put up those numbers. You keep turning the ball over, big bad New England's going to beat you. But that 4th and 2, unbelievable.
Yeah, NFL coaches love punting on 4th and 2. They love punting on 4th and 1. They haven't really adapted the college model hey, we get 4 downs. We get 4 downs and we're going to attack you because this is a 60-minute game where the offenses are running the show out here, and the NFL hasn't really adapted to it. Some have. Dan Campbell has. A couple of others have. But some guys just haven't done it. And when you get in these shootouts, he's exactly right. Nobody can stop anybody. The ball is the most important thing in football. Keep it if you can.
Yeah, it's like military.
Especially versus a team like the Bills where middle yardage, like football, if I was a coach, and I'd be a great one, it in between the 20s, that's easy living. Yeah. Like when you're moving from your own 20 to the other 20, resistance is low, teams go up and down. It's when you get in the red zone that things tighten up. So to punt the ball to a team like the Bills, they're just going to go right back at least to where you gave them the ball to begin with.
Especially the way Josh Allen was playing yesterday. They were moving up and down the field.
Well, and it's what Greg Olson talked about, right? Modern NFL defensive theory is just that, right? They're gonna win that middle portion, but then you do everything to practice great red zone defense, situational football, and winning those high leverage moments. Dave,
I was shocked. I was shocked when they punted. My jaw hit the ground.
I can't remember your list off the top of my head. Were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers anywhere cute or they were nowhere to be found? So
neither. I don't think they're overly excited right now. They have a lot of injuries, obviously. People were talking Baker for MVP. That's kind of quieted down.
Yeah.
I don't think they're thrilled with the season, and I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
They're only a half game better than the Panthers, who are 6-5. Like
Panthers, man,
who knows what to make of Bryce 40. Young? I don't get it, dude. Bryce Young, 1 week, you're like
400 yards yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. But the week before, everybody was saying he sucked and he's never going to be a good quarterback.
One of the biggest knocks on Bryce Young this year was he can't perform on the road, and he goes into Atlanta, 400 yards, big win. The Panthers still play the Bucs 2 times end of the season, 1 in week 16, 1 week 18. The NFC South is up for grabs, and I'm not sure we expected that coming into the season.
That in the hunt graphic right there is very depressing. The fact that it has the 3-7 Cardinals, the 4-6 Vikings, the 3-5-1 Cowboys, that's depressing in the hunt graphic.
We can't include
and you guys are in the great city of Chicago. How about them Chicago Bears?
How about the Bears, baby?
Division leader 7-3. Shocking. I mean, I having them as cute because they should be doing cartwheels in Chicago. But I don't even think the Bears fans think they're a Super Bowl team.
No, that's what's it. No. The Bears, per your cute definition, the Bears are the cutest team in the NFL. And again, that is a positive. But we'll get to the Bears. We still got to get to the Jamar Chase drama from yesterday.
Oh, let's watch J.J. McCarthy for the ball.
We'll talk J.J. McCarthy.
Well, he had a pretty good drive. To quote Giselle, he can't throw the ball and catch the ball. No. Led them down the field.
One drive
the lead.
One drive and
hold on, guys. Hold on.
One drive and 10
possessions. You got to get a play from your defense.
It's terrible.
We will have the J.J. McCarthy conversation as well. Him and Caleb Williams' stat line's kind of very interesting from yesterday. But right now, it's time to go to break, and then we get back. It's time to talk some college football. A lot happened over the weekend. How about Brent Venables in Oklahoma making a statement? And we got Brandon Walker's brand new college football top 10. So don't go anywhere, guys. It's all here on Wake Up Barstool.
And no G-spot, by the way. They're both traveling. Sorry.
Yeah, no G-spot. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. We do it every single Monday here. We have college football's #1 media personality, Brandon Walker, and he gives you his college football top 10. Brandon, take it away.
Yeah, so a little bit of movement inside the top 10. Actually, a lot of movement inside the top 10. So you've got Ohio State 1, Indiana 2. I moved Indiana back to 2 after dropping them last week for a little bit. I got Georgia over A&M, and listen, when you play like A&M did, and I know they're still undefeated and Georgia is not, and this bothers you, and yeah, fine, I'll have that argument down the road, but you got to punish A&M for what they did the other day. They were playing an awful South Carolina team, and they played the worst half of football I have ever seen. Heart of a champion, championship DNA, the comeback, yay, all that. But I'm still docking you if you do what A&M did the other day. And then there's still the matter that if you look at A&M's schedule, the 7 SEC teams they beat are the bottom 7 teams in the league, and that is.
Did you see Felika's tweet that I hit you with?
Did not see Felika's tweet, but I just. A&M, you're in timeout right now. Georgia's ahead of you for now. Texas Tech at 5, Oregon, Ole Miss, and then Oklahoma, the big mover, coming up from like 12 to number 8 as they go on the road and beat an Alabama team that looked like they just were scared to play an elite defense, and that's exactly what they played. Oklahoma great defense, offense good enough, and they beat Alabama. There you go, number 8.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? And I'll say what T-Bob was going to say. I mean, listen, I think Georgia has, I've been down in the whole season. They've certainly put together 2 great weeks in a row. They look like they're a national championship team. Results matter. And I am actually on the other end of the A&M spectrum. And I think you can look at both ways. You look up, they're down, 30-3 at half, and you're like, holy cow, what happened here? They come roaring back and win that game. To me, that is a team that absolutely slept walk in the first half, wasn't paying attention, woke up, and I actually feel better about A&M today than I did Saturday morning.
You feel better.
1,000%. Yes.
You cannot drop the
2 people that didn't watch a game.
The first
2 people
half,
didn't watch a game.
That's entirely untrue.
2 people that did not watch a game.
That's literally all I do on Saturday is watch every second of college
A&M was
football.
disgusting on Saturday.
And that disgustingness is the exception, not the rule, when you look on the season as a whole.
They beat Arkansas by 3.
I'm not expecting them to have a half like that again. Great, and this is also an A&M program that is learning how to win. When they go into half there, they are battling decades of irrelevance, decades of collapsing, and they said no, and they found a way to affect the craziest comeback.
Last second, Notre Dame.
Go ahead, Dave.
Did they not beat Notre Dame?
They did beat Notre Dame.
They did beat Notre Dame. It's their one good win. But last segment.
That's a pretty God, that's a great win.
Okay.
Also, Falika
Good catch.
tweeted. Sagarin.
I don't
top
care about
40 wins.
Falika.
Most Sagarin top 40 wins in the country.
Last segment, we had people get on Dave for the Patriots schedule, and they're like, what about the Patriots schedule? If you look at A&M's schedule after that Notre Dame win, and by the way, they won that game on a missed extra point by Notre Dame at the end of the game. Fine, great win. That is their best win. But if you look at that schedule, they have played the Mississippi States of the SEC. They have played the South Carolinas. They played every bottom team in the SEC, and they have struggled more often than they haven't struggled.
But
at some point, it's got to be clear to your face that this is not an elite team.
And that goes back to the Walker thing that we've fought with for years is you would like to appoint the national champion. You don't like playing games on the field. They're undefeated in the SEC.
Yep.
Georgia is not undefeated.
No. You're a box score bozo. You're a box score bozo, and you're a box score bozo.
And let me tell you
look at
this.
the end of the game.
That is insane.
You see
to
the
say.
score, and you're like,
You
oh,
are
wow,
pissing me
they
off.
came back. They did all this. If you watch that game, you saw a team that cannot come close to competing with Ohio State. Or
You're a box score bozo because you're not
box score bozo.
appreciating the hole that A&M was in, how bad Marcel Reed was playing, and the toughness, the mental adversity that it takes to overcome that and play as perfect as he did in the second half.
Come back from
That's what makes a
30-3.
champion.
I don't care who you're playing, 33. And I want to switch subjects here because I have another problem with his top 10.
All right.
And I don't know who he picked, but I know who he picked. And this is not just Brand Walker. It's Dan, Big Cat Katz. It's a lot of people. A formal apology to the BYU Cougars, who I know Walker picked to lose against TCU. I know you did. Did you?
Stu Feiner called it his best play of the week last week.
This is between me and Dave right now.
Sorry.
Yes, I did.
Of course you did. And every week they've lost one game and they lost it to a potential national championship team on the road, okay? Everybody is like, here's the end of BYU, TCU. They're going to come in. They're going to beat BYU. And you know what BYU did? They destroyed this team. They beat them 44-13 by 30. They're 9-1. They are a top 10 team. Now, I sometimes get confused on the mechanics of how this works. I've heard Big 12, they're only going to get one team. They deserve 2.
Yep.
Texas Tech and BYU are playoff teams. I don't want to hear it. Provo Dave is going to be in Cincinnati this Saturday for Big Noon Kickoff. And I already tell you, the guy's sitting here right here. Oh, I like Cincinnati in this game. Every week, people are picking against BYU. We don't like a quarterback who wears 47. We don't like Mormons. We don't like the.
Who said that?
Dave,
Brandon
I
said that.
think
That's
I've
true.
heard you say that.
Yeah, he said
and here is what Provo Dave is going to say.
Outrageous.
Put some respect on BYU's name. Put some respect on Cosmo. He's a great performer.
He is.
This team
You have
is
to go.
going. This team deserves to be in the playoffs. End of story.
Last week is the first time. I'm a BYU guy. It's the first time in, I'd say, the last 2 years that I faded BYU. I straight up thought that this was a really difficult spot oh whoops, I just kicked the desk. The letdown potential that was there after the blowout dominant loss against Texas Tech. And then, of course, the line closes at 3.5.
I was laughing my way to the bank, Bluttman. I said, I put in my bet. I cashed it before it even started. I go, these morons
were
are
right to do so. They go out there and they once again assert physical dominance. And Kalani Sitake once again proves why he's one of the most underrated coaches in the country. He's definitely a top 10 coach in the sport. And he should be considered more for some of these top jobs, so he should never leave. He should never leave his castle. He's the king.
Perfect fit for him.
Yeah,
perfect
it is a perfect fit. And the culture that he's building wins.
Walker, you got him in the playoffs or what?
Yeah, they're right there. They're in the mix. I got them right outside the top 10. It's not like I'm going to bend over backwards for BYU. And let me clear.
You could have put him in over Alabama. You could have put him in over Alabama.
I have never once said I don't like.
How is Alabama ahead of BYU?
Yeah, I don't even believe in Alabama that much. I just kind of put them there. I do like Miami more than BYU, but BYU, they keep winning.
Miami more than BYU. Talk about a team you cannot trust. That's insane.
BYU would assault Miami.
Oh my God, no, they wouldn't. Anyway, BYU is the one thing. If they're what, 9-1, 10-1, whatever.
9-1.
If they keep winning, there's no way to keep them out. So why are we doing all this? Oh, I'm just getting on a stump for BYU. They'll be fine if they keep winning.
I don't know all the mechanics. So if they keep winning, would they then
Here,
in the championship?
Yes, they would. And
if they lose to Texas Tech again, you still have them in. So 2 losses to Texas Tech, and that's it. They're in.
I would think last year SMU lost it. They had 1 loss and they went to the title game. Precedent got them in. I would think the precedent, if BYU goes 1 loss to the title game and then loses to Texas Tech, I think they probably still get in.
I agree. It seems, even though the playoff committee can do what they want, but it seems like they set the precedent last season. We'll see if it continues.
Now,
everything's still up in the air.
They leave their hats at the door. But
Walker's about to say they're going to lose to Cincinnati this Saturday.
Not what I was going to say. I was going to say last year the precedent could be one thing, but this year I think there's going to be a lot more playoff teams.
Yeah, there's a ton of two. There's going to be a ton of 10.
Last year those SEC 9-3 teams did not belong anywhere near the playoff. This year there's going to be a lot of teams, and yours is one of them. In Michigan, there's a lot of teams that are hanging in that 10-2 line that are going to have to be heard from.
Before we get to Michigan, Oklahoma with really the other massive outcome of the weekend, winning a game that, if you talk about like how the game flow went, post-game expectancy, really surprising that they went on the road to Tuscaloosa and won. What a statement by Brent Venables and company. How'd they do it, though? By playing clean football, getting after Ty Simpson with great defense and winning the turnover battle 3-0. Oklahoma, all of a sudden, now 8-2. Couple of very winnable games at the end, looking like a playoff team.
Well, not only 8-2, but you look at their resume. They got a road win at Alabama. They got the win over Michigan, that win continues to look better and better. They got the road win at Tennessee, who's somehow still ranked. Like, they've got a resume on them, and they have a defense. And you get into a playoff situation, you might have a balanced team, you might have a good offense on the other side. This defense will choke you out.
Yeah.
This defense,
and Mateer looked healthy.
Yeah, this defense will knock you out. This defense will hurt your feelings. And we don't have enough of those teams in college football anymore with a defense that just will absolutely run a football game, and they've got one.
Yeah, they've been outgained by 300 combined yards in their last 2 games, win both of them. Alabama had taken care of the ball all season. Alabama couldn't hold on to anything. Oklahoma's pressure, scheming things up, creative looks, confusing the quarterback. Ty Simpson's going to be one of the first 10 players picked in the NFL draft this spring. He saw ghosts at times. That was without our Mason Thomas.
That's what I'm saying. Their best defender didn't even play on Saturday.
Their front 4 just absolutely gets after it. And again, the pressure that they bring and they get off the edge, whether it's from another edge rusher or from a DB, like, they are a very difficult team to play against, and I'm a fool for writing them off. They are one of the most fun teams to watch on Saturday, just solely off the defense. The offense has to figure things out. Arbuckle's a stud at OC, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, It was a joy to watch.
It was a joy to watch. Oh, go ahead, Meek. Last thing.
On October 11th, Brandon Walker tweeted, "This Oklahoma team has no business in the top 10."
Yeah.
He also tweeted things like Missouri is good, Virginia is good, Oklahoma is overrated, Miami is great. Top of my head things I called in August. So.
I also tweeted after on October 11th. Thank goodness we don't have to talk about Oklahoma.
I'm worried about this. What this clown just said. Yeah, I tweet a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I tweet a lot of stuff, all right? And I hand up, I did not believe in Oklahoma. I thought the offense wasn't good enough.
Yeah, me
I thought
too.
the defense wasn't good enough, and they just keep shutting me up. They keep going on the road and doing these things. So congratulations to them. It isn't a poor reflection on me. It's a reflection of greatness on them. Idiot.
Coming up next, let's go back to the NFL. We got...
Stop making that face, Dave.
Well, that's just an interesting way. So whenever you're wrong, it's not a reflection on you. It's credit to the other guy. I don't think
That's right out of the Portnoy playbook.
That is right out of the Dave playbook. Okay, coming up next, we get to J.J. McCarthy. We still got Jamar Chase spitting and saying he did it. There's a lot more NFL to chew on. Don't go anywhere. It's Wake Up Barstool. What's happening? Welcome back. Wake Up Barstool. All right, let's dive right in. I want to talk J.J. McCarthy, or I want to talk Bears Vikings. And what's interesting to me is both quarterbacks end up 16 of 32, similar days in some ways, and yet you emerge from the game feeling polar opposite about the two young signal callers. You're like, okay, Caleb's kind of frisky and fun and getting better right now. J.J. McCarthy's not ready to be an NFL quarterback.
I don't know if you guys can read.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
This shirt here is the only reason why. Michigan Wolverines, national champs, J.J. McCarthy, and he hurt a lot of feelings along the way, beat a lot of good teams along the way, made a lot of people, Brandon Walker, look stupid along the way. And for some reason, people have held on to it. Now, the difference, and I agree with what you said, T-Bob, different feelings, even though both led their team potential on game-winning drives, obviously 36 seconds. I mean, you got to hope your defense can do something here. They didn't. And I'd also like to add, as I've added every week, Caleb Williams has a whole season under his belt, and JJ got hurt. So this is like, what, game 6 for JJ? Both teams can be happy about their quarterbacks, if you ask me. You had number 9 do what he did all his college career, made every big play when he had to. But Caleb Williams has been leading the Bears. I had 2-minute Caleb. He's leading them down the field, and they get the win. So both teams have the right to be happy. The reason number 9, J.J. McCarthy, gets so much hate is he played for the Michigan Wolverines, won a national championship, and like I said, hurt a lot of feelings along the way.
Box score, bozo. He didn't watch. Caleb Williams didn't throw a pass in that drive to get the field goal at the end of the game. That was set up by a long field goal return. Anyway, secondly, why did I hold on to it from college? Because exactly what I said when he was a junior at Michigan and won the national championship. He was a handoff guy. He never had to throw anything. He averaged less than 20 yards passing. He was not a good passer.
Handoff Harry?
They never once asked him to throw the ball to win a game. And I said, why would you use a first-round pick on a guy who has never been asked to throw the ball to win a game? Because you're going to ask him to throw it, and he cannot do it.
I have two questions. Alabama Rose Bowl. Threw the ball down the field, got them in
He can't do it. He's never been asked to do it.
What about that?
No, he didn't. Stop saying yes. Just
No, I'm not. Just the Alabama game.
Pastor Roman Wilson was one of the great plays, made play after play. The Ohio State, when he threw the ball behind the guy's helmet. Perfect.
Should have been picked off, yes.
No, perfect pass. And what about this drive where you're saying he couldn't do it? And he led him down the field, pass after pass after pass.
He was 5 for 5. It was 5 for 5 on that drive. 4 checkdowns and a pass on a broken coverage.
Those are
4 checkdowns and a pass on a broken coverage.
Passes.
He can't do it.
By the way, he completed a 4th and 2 pass after on that same drive, the guy dropped the ball for a first down. He had to throw 2 completions.
The guy was shocked the ball was in his zip code. Justin Jefferson's going to quit. Justin Jefferson, he's got the best receiver in football.
This was a
Justin
great
Jefferson's
drive.
Quit.
This is the guy's 6th game, and it's all because of Michigan. And it's the same reason we haven't talked about Michigan today. Nobody's mentioned we played at one of the most iconic settings of all time.
Thank you.
And had one of the great wins of the weekend.
We didn't mention you because Michigan looked so bad for so long.
Okay, hold on. Look. We got a whole hour left, guys. We got a whole hour left. We're going to get back to Michigan, okay? I don't know if we'll return to Bears Vikings. I will say this for Bears fans.
Bears dominated that game, by the way. They almost blew it.
You're doing
By
it
the way,
with
how about Brand Walker being like the guy can't complete a pass when he's well, he wasn't perfect because there was but he drove him down the field to get the touchdown at the end of the game, and he was
50%
brilliant.
completion percentage. 50%.
Vikings wide receivers had 6 drops yesterday.
Stop it, Meek. All right, hour 2 of Wake Up Barstool coming up on FS1. Don't go anywhere. I got to stop saying
Bunch
don't
of
go
box
anywhere.
score
Stick around.
bozos.
It's his 6th game of the season of his career in the NFL.
Might be his last.
I think it's fair to say, yeah, he's not complete,
He's not good.
but he's not a starting caliber quarterback right now.
No.
Disagree.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. Guys, I've started listening to Christmas music, and it's great. Yeah, putting up decorations with the kids over the weekend. It's
You
fantastic.
couldn't wait till after Thanksgiving.
Nope. Nope. It's in the air. We're starting early. Dave, you started up Christmas music yet?
Well, I'm Jewish, so we're not a big Christmas music guy.
I assumed, actually, I just always assumed that you were a Hanukkah and Christmas guy, that you doubled up.
Well, as a kid, my parents did because they didn't want us to feel bad. We weren't having Christmas.
Yeah.
I've done it at times because I've dated or been married to both, so I've celebrated both. But when I'm on my own, I've had Christmas trees. I'm not a big Christmas music guy. Some of the songs.
Is there Hanukkah music?
Oh, of course, Adam Sandler.
Okay, like 8 Crazy Nights. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Oh Hanukkah is a big time song. So there's some, but nothing like ours isn't. Ours is kind of dark and gloomy almost, like not as cheery. Like some of the songs, like listen, if I like a song, I like a song, but I wouldn't say I have it going. It's like, oh, we're getting ready.
Brandon, the phone keeps falling over. You okay? over
He
there?
averages 4.6 phone drops per episode.
Yeah.
That's advanced statistics for our guy Liam Bluttman behind the desk. All right, let's dive back into the NFL. The Steelers getting some revenge on that Bengals team that shocked them. What was that, about a month ago now when Flacco comes in, he throws for 8 million yards. Steelers take care of business yesterday. The defense itself coming up with a couple of touchdowns to win. But the controversy from the game had to do with Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey as they were jawing at each other the entire time. They're on sportsmanlike penalties. And then Jalen Ramsey gets kicked out of the game for punching Jamar Chase. But on replay, it looks like Jamar Chase spit on him.
No, it doesn't look like Jamar Chase spit on him. Jamar Chase spit on him.
Jamar Chase.
I don't know what these guys think they're doing, and I do mean about the spitting. That to me is crazy. And that what is the penalty? Like to me, that's almost should be a suspension. But well, I don't know how you think you can deny it in today's day and age when you know it's almost like the Internet Invitational. It's like we have cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you are being recorded every single move. You're not going to get away with anything times a million here. So I don't understand the deny. What is the official
We saw in week
penalty for
one.
this?
We saw in week one when Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott, he was fined, not suspended, because that spit and ejection happened like on the first play of kickoff. This play happened late in the fourth quarter. So there's a very good chance that they go through a tape, they could suspend Jamar Chase for next week.
What's the difference?
Because it happened at the end of the game, not the start of the game.
So you're saying he basically served as one.
So he served a suspension.
Yeah.
Spitting is no bueno.
Yeah, no, I think spitting on somebody's worse than punching them in the face.
Oh, without a doubt.
Way worse.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
And I don't know why is there a spitting epidemic in the NFL? You don't see it in basketball, you don't see it in baseball, but NFL guys, is it because of the helmet? They
I think it's the helmet.
Yeah.
I just don't know, man. This is crazy.
Punching somebody with a helmet does absolutely nothing.
I mean, I kind of think
football. You're
it's
out there
also
spitting on somebody.
Is it maybe also just a function of it being a nastier and more physical game to begin with?
It could be, but I mean, like,
Hey, Bob, you're a lineman, right? So
Yeah.
you played high-level football.
Yeah.
Is spitting, everyone says what goes on underneath the pile, grabbing nuts, punching rabbit. Is spitting something that goes on when the camera's like underneath the pile?
No, and I never got spat on. I never spat anybody, and I was a dirty-ass player. Like, I was a massive fan
you were grabbing nuts?
I never grabbed nuts, but like punching under the pile, poking, prodding, trying to get late hits in. Like we used to have a game where you got points for every cheap shot you got on TV that you didn't get flagged for. So again,
spitting's a different category.
Spitting is crossing a line. It's crossing a line. Like I still remember Bill Romanowski spitting on that dude when I was a little kid and being like, oh, that's crazy.
And that's what you expect from Romo, though. Like that's the type of guy that it's like, who's going to spit? Romanowski. Like, yes, but to me, it's a suspension, and to lie about it. I mean, I guess what are you going to say? I spit it on, just no comment it, but bad. And but the Steelers, by the way, I'd rather be the Bengals still than the Steelers. The Steelers, I don't know why I had them in cute in hindsight. They're just stuck. The Steelers are just stuck. Aaron Rodgers 100 doesn't look good. They're just a program that's stuck.
Look at that, though.
Did you guys see the highlight of the weekend in NFL football, though? Darnell Washington for the Steelers?
Hold on. Oh, yeah, that was
I don't know if we have it, but Darnell Washington,
that was like
the tight end. One of the most breathtaking plays I've seen. He just runs over 3 people before the football.
It was like
Oh, my God. Dude. This last one.
3.
The second guy made a business 22 business decision.
Yeah, look, he wanted no peace. I mean, the thing is, that's one of those clips that you see in a movie.
Yeah.
And it's high school football in the movie, and you're like, that's unrealistic.
No, this needs the old 1970s NFL films music on top of it with the narrator.
Yes, dude.
This guy looks like Giant Gonzalez from old wrestling. He's like 300 pounds. This guy has no business playing tight end.
To be able to,
I believe he's 6'8", 280 or something like that.
He's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
300. Yeah, he's over 300.
He's ridiculous.
To be able to do that on an NFL field it's absurd. But guys, speaking of Christmas, did you see the stat line that just came across the bottom of the screen there?
Well, then no.
Fair question. Is Mason Rudolph better right now than Aaron Rodgers is right now?
Rudolph, 12 of 16, 127, 1 tud. I find it very interesting that at this time of year specifically, that a Rudolph would be entering the conversation.
Okay, your terrible pun aside, that was absolutely awful. But we played this Rudolph game before. We've done this Rudolph stuff year after year after year. So no.
That's the Bengals defense tax you're seeing right there. Yeah. And they play the Bears defense next week, so maybe he has a good game, but we know Mason Rudolph stinks.
Listen, and back to Aaron Rodgers, he never looked right in a Steelers helmet.
Yep.
No.
Like, he never looked right. I'm not just talking the colors. It didn't fit right. It's never looked right. Like I said, the Steelers, they're just stuck. In a lot of professional sports, maybe NFL is the least because parity, but you don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be stuck. They don't have a quarterback for the future, clearly. I don't know what they do. They're just a middling team.
Yeah, apathy is sometimes worse than greatness or awfulness.
It's not even apathy because they care, but they're just stuck. They're not going to have a draft pick to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Rodgers isn't going to take them anywhere. Like, they're a team, if you're doing a draft, not for this year, like, you'd rather be the Bengals, right? Because Burrow comes back if he can stay healthy. Big if, top-tier quarterback, maybe the best in the league, top 5, whatever. You can reasonably say we're a real team. We were a whisker away from winning a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow if he's healthy. The Steelers, they're just, man, they have, there goes Pete Beagle. They just have absolutely nothing to look forward to except mediocrity.
I don't know what he would bring to the table, but I am curious to see them play. If they do, Will Howard down the stretch. I want to see what
you saw him working on the Aaron Rodgers
guy
release.
That can't win the big game. He's somebody who goes,
he won the national championship.
That's not a big game when you can't beat the Wolverines. And I like Will Howard.
I like Will Howard.
He won the national championship.
I like Will Howard.
You have that
an
clip
incredible
of me giving him a
dismount.
pair of gold pants in Columbus because he never got any.
Well, speaking of your Michigan Wolverines,
he won 4
Dave,
playoff games, T-Bob.
I know. I'm just not, I mean, we hold these. It's Michigan, and it's Dave.
Well,
and speaking of, y'all were in Wrigley this weekend. Great work all around, guys. Setting looked fantastic. And I'll be damned if the Wolverines didn't somehow avoid disaster. 5 turnovers, minus
Meek,
5.
you gotta dig up that stat, Meek. How many teams have lost the turnover battle 5-0 and won a football game? I can't imagine there's many. They did not play their best football. They did not play their best.
Well said.
Underwood looked like, I had the tweets composed in the drafts ready to go. Like, oh, this guy looks like Tom Brady, Drake May, Randall Cunningham, and Fran Tarkington all at once. And then he had a couple, I'm going to say, not good interceptions.
Okay, Dave, I'm not even kidding when I ask this. When has Michigan played their best football? It just feels like they're just surviving all these
Maybe
games.
Washington.
I guess. It hasn't been impressive. And Underwood's an impressive guy, and at some point it's going to click, but it just hadn't really clicked. I guess
He's young. He's young. There's still I've watched a lot of Michigan film.
There's a
getting ready
lot of
for,
freshmen that play better than this.
No, I agree, but not a lot that have the natural raw talent for sure. I watched, and Michigan's also going to be a more conservative style to begin with.
Yeah.
But I've watched a lot of Michigan film this year, getting ready for the Friday film segments, and they're just really bringing him along slowly, and you kind of saw why, because in the fourth quarter, when you allow him too much traditional decision making, he can get himself into hot water at this point.
Those I don't even know that I would. His 2 interceptions, I'm not 100% sure I'd even. This is a great throw here. And this kid had a huge game. He had like 9,000 catches. Those throws that got picked off, I don't even know that I would call those decisions. They were like the play action pass, throw them McCauley like crossing pattern. He doesn't even look. Those are terrible interceptions.
That's everything they're doing with him this year is just one read, screens, play action, trying to make it as simple as possible.
All that being
and it's
said,
very vanilla, and they're predetermined. And I'll say something else, which I've watched a lot of football. I do not understand is he is not I tweeted this. I don't know if he's not as fast as I think he is or he's not elusive, but he gets tackled by like slow linebackers in open field. I don't get it. Because he looks like he should blast past these guys, and he doesn't. Now, having said all that, we couldn't have looked any worse going into Ohio State last year, and we beat them. So as long as we keep not stubbing our toe, who knows what can happen.
I'm going to give the kid some credit. He got the ball back down 22-21. He had that big run on 3rd and 5. It did lead him down the field for the field goal.
Yep.
Like he looked good in that situation. And you're right about not looking that elusive at times, but on that 3rd and 5 run, he looked plenty elusive and looked really, really
well,
good.
that's what I'm saying.
Very decisive
His north-south speed seemingly is very quick. I see all these other quarterbacks, but this, like, he didn't really make anybody, well, that guy a little bit, but
yeah.
Like he looks really fast. He looks like one of these guys that should be picking up when he scrambles like 20, 30 yards. He gets tackled a lot. Listen, they had 5 turnovers. They missed 2 field goals. They had 2 offsides. I mean, everything they did wrong, and they beat. And Northwestern is not a horrible football team.
No, they're not.
So to come out of there with a win, thank God.
As much as I want to
playoff hope's still alive.
I want to spike the football. I want to spike the football on Dave when Michigan looks bad. But the thing is, what he's been preaching all year is probably true. If they get to Ann Arbor with Ohio State coming in, and Michigan's 9-2, and they've still got a playoff hope, and Michigan scores the first touchdown, they're up 7-0, they're up 10-0 in the first quarter. Ohio State might mentally just curl up in a ball.
It's the one question
because Ohio State hadn't been tested at all.
Yes,
and if they get on the road and Michigan drags them into deep water,
cowards. If we can put game pressure on those cowards, you may see for the first time in the history of college football a head coach urinate himself on the sidelines. Ryan Day will pee down his leg if this game goes into the second half and it's close or Michigan has the lead. This guy, it's gonna be like those old pee dog videos from Part of My Take, piss dogs. You are going to see a grown man pee himself because I don't care what he says. I don't care what Ohio State fans say. I don't care what Buckeye Brandon says. If you don't think they need to win that game, you're crazy. And if we put some game pressure on these guys, watch out. They're more talented. They haven't had a close game. Michigan is struggling, but look at that record. 8-2. And by the way, their 2 losses at USC, at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
not the worst losses. So everyone, Sharon this, Sharon, he's beaten everybody should beat, and we always beat Ohio State. What a season of Michigan for all the doom and gloom. And I have people in my ear, Brady Quinn at dinner, who you looking at for Michigan? I'm not looking at anybody. I am 100% behind my guy, Sharon Moore, until I'm not. I'm behind him. 8-2. We got Maryland we should beat, and we could be in the playoffs. So stop talking about this guy. We got a freshman quarterback, and I'm telling you, Mark my words. Put a prop bet in DraftKings. If we have the lead at halftime, Ryan Day will urinate himself live on the sideline. He'll be that old Joe Pa clip running to the locker room, except it'll be pee running down his leg.
Could be the greatest prediction in show history if Ryan Day does in fact pee himself.
I think he will. If it's tied or we're up going into the third quarter, this man pees himself.
Meek, I'm sure, has some statistics supporting
Back
Dave.
up, Dave. Yeah.
Well, he Oxford last time Michigan had lost turnover battle by 5 and 1. They turned the ball over 5 times in the Outback Bowl in 2018 and won that game. The last time any team lost turnover battle.
Game.
No, they won.
Outback Bowl?
2018. They won that game.
Outback Bowl.
Good stuff here, boys.
Wait, no, stop. I actually love this.
Yeah.
I love the idea of them just arguing over the 2018
You both have laptops in
Outback
front of you.
Last year, SMU played Duke. They turned the ball over 6 times to nothing, and they won that game. So it has happened in recent history.
Also, in 1943, Purdue beat Illinois 40-21. Purdue turned the ball over 11 times. Illinois turned it over 7 times. You could win games turning the ball over.
18 times, 18 turnovers.
Those 2 interceptions were bad. They were bad interceptions. They were. By the way, I don't know how to describe an interception as crisp, but like those are crisp interceptions. He dropped back, play action pass, a laser right to the Northwestern.
The ball launches out of his hand. I mean, it is a frozen rope every single time. It's just
he makes amazing plays, and then I'll make him. But listen, they got out of the game. You got your All-American field goal kicker hasn't been locked in. He makes the winner. Just got to keep going.
It's just Maryland, right? It's just Maryland, and then the game's
it's just Maryland, and then all the chips we push them to the table, and the playoffs are on the line. If you beat Ohio State, first of all, I think we haven't figured it out. If you beat Ohio State, are we in the Big Ten championship?
Got to be, because you only have 1 Big Ten loss.
Yeah, but. So would Ohio State, so would Oregon.
It would forge a tie,
a three-way tie. You'd have the, I don't know. You'd have the triangle tie. All right, let's go to break, guys. When we get back, we got Robbie Fox coming on to talk some fight. We'll talk about the UFC fight over the weekend, as well as the...
By the way, I don't want to go to the championship if we beat Ohio State. Just get ready for the playoffs.
Okay, there you go. Wake Up Barstool, Fight Talk, coming up next, FS1. What's happening? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool and FS1. And right now, it's my pleasure to welcome in one of my favorite people here at the company, a fellow nerd, a massive fight nerd as well. He was at UFC 322 over the weekend. In fact, if you saw Dylan Dennis in the Muslim Brotherhood getting into it over the weekend, it was this man's video. Robbie Fox, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Welcome to national television, man. You look great. You look fantastic.
Thank you, T-Bob. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to join. I knew as soon as it broke down this weekend that this was a possibility. It was chaos, but it was fun chaos. It was very fun for me.
So, Bob, I love this stuff. I'm a fight guy. You know I'm a fight guy. And so once Dylan Dan, well played, Bob. You're a resident guy, a UFC fight guy. Once I saw this break, Dylan Dennis. So your video went viral for me. Now, break it down for me. Were punches landed? Was he dazed? And this who started it? I know Dylan Dennis has talked a ton of crap about these guys all the way back when he was sparring with your boy Connor. And I said, were you a little nervous they're going to spot you in the crowd because you've had beef with them? But what happened? Break it down. You're right. This is your video.
This is my video. I'm right there as the pay-per-view is about to start. I hear a commotion to my right. I turn and I see something breaking down. I see punches thrown, limbs going everywhere, shoes going flying, neon orange shoes just going flying. I see Hunter. This is Hunter Campbell with the UFC telling Abubakar Nurmagomedov, that's Khabib's cousin, get out of there. We can't have you there. And I just don't know who it is at this point. So on video, you could hear me realize right now, oh, it's Dylan Dennis. And then everything clicked for me. Look at the clown shoes. I couldn't believe the shoes. Is that a shoe? Is that a slipper? Is that Chuck E. Cheese shoe? Is that a Sonic the Hedgehog shoe? I don't know what it was, but it all made sense for me then because it was Islam Makhachev in the main event, Khabib's protege. All of Khabib's team are there. Obviously, Team Khabib versus Team McGregor is kind of the war that'll never end. Dylan Dennis is part of Team McGregor, so there you have it.
How badly did he get beat?
I think he got beat pretty bad, to be honest, and I don't think he started it. According to Dana, he had a ticket to the fight, and he was like kind of moving around seats. He was going into the fighter section. I think it was started by this new guy who UFC fans are calling John Pork, because he looks a lot like that guy, John Pork. And he just fighting with them, like I said, where it's like they see him and they're like, we're going to fight you for everything you've been saying over the years. You see a couple of punches land to the back of his head in the brawl, and I think those were pretty bad. And then it's his shoes. You see his shoes just kicking up, the orange shoes. I think they were trying to stomp him in the middle of MSG.
Dylan Dennis, I've known Dylan Dennis from way back when. I don't know what to think of this guy, because he actually tweeted out something to the effect, I'm coming to this fight. I know you guys are going to be there. I'm not bringing any security. He won't fight in the ring, right? He won't get back in the ring, but he seemingly has a lot of courage. Like, to go versus these guys, I wouldn't do it. I'd be petrified. He does get in these fights seemingly all the time. He's like, well, I can keep talking and keep calling myself the real champ and do all this stuff. If I get knocked out and pinned in 3 seconds in the octagon, I can't do it. So I'll keep this street fight him. Like, why doesn't he fight?
He has been fighting, like he just fought. It's been years since he fought, and he just fought in like a more of a Misfits type thing. It's not like, he's not in the UFC or anything. He is, and he's the champ there, which is very funny. He had one fight, he's the champ. But he wanted to be at like in UFC. I think this was sort of his bid to be like, look, I can maybe clean it up a little bit and get into the UFC one day. Dana said we'll never see him at a UFC.
He banned
ever again. He banned. Not even.
What'd you think of that ban? By the way, if he just got jumped,
you have to. I mean, listen, he got jumped, but at the same time, it's like, this is who Dylan Dennis is. This is like you said, he's the guy that gets into brawls outside the octagon. Dylan Dennis is at a fight. You have a pretty good idea that some stuff's gonna go down. Excuse me.
Buzz.
I'm sorry, Buzz. That was tough. I know they told me that was.
Erase it, Liam. Erase it. Get the camera on
I was
Bluttman.
like, you don't have to tell Bob Fox that. He's a professional. He's not going to swear. It is on delay, so they probably didn't get that. We'll get the report. Now, do you think Dana Sneaky likes it?
No. Not with Dennis. No. Not with Dennis. I think he mentioned too, he realized it was happening. Like Dana was told, Dennis is in the building, he's in the fighter section, and Jorge Masvidal said it's on site with Dennis if I see him. And Dana was like, he's a couple rows away, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then as soon as the fight happened, Dana said he looked up and was like, oh, I'm forgetting Team Khabib is here. He's like, that's got to be what that is. So I don't think he does like it. And especially because it's like you've got 2 UFC athletes brawling with him. There were other people brawling. This just kept going was the other thing. Like my video almost doesn't do it justice. As soon as I thought it was over, it just kept going and I didn't know how. Even when Dennis and Abubakar were separated, it just kept going.
That is my experience or thought, though. And I've been to a lot of UFC fights. Dana and Hunter treat us well. Big fans, obviously. But when you put this testosterone in a room and you have 1 million fighters sitting in the first couple rows, and it's like every time there's a UFC event, it's almost like a UFC reunion, right? Like there's 1 million guys there, 1 million women, all fighters, all enjoying, all who've said ridiculous things to each other. You're almost guaranteed or expect something like this every once in a while. Part 2, and I guess Nakisa may come on here lately. We're both fight guys. This Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. I still, there's something to it that doesn't smell right to me, because to fight the guys that Jake's been fighting now, go into the deep waters versus a guy who a lot of people at times have been like, this is the heavyweight champ of the world. How can you, like, what is your reaction to this?
I think it's Jake trying to, like, it's almost like he has a gimme where it's like he can lose this fight. Yeah. And I think it's fine. I think it's one of those things for Jake where it's like, how can you not respect him for taking a Joshua fight? Even his doubters, even like people that have been, he's fighting retired MMA guys. Tank drops out of the fight. Tank's one of the more hateable guys in the world. So it's like, what's the one thing Jake Paul can get everyone on his side for right now? Let me finally fight a real boxer. Let me fight a heavyweight.
Do we have Nakisa on? I see him in the thing. I don't know if he can hear us. Nakisa, I have said that I think you're one of the most brilliant guys I've ever seen in how you've managed Jake's career. Big fight after big fight. Some of them, like the Tyson one I'm on, it's like Mike Tyson has 0 chance versus Jake Paul. I said that I would bet my life savings. This is brilliant. They bet it up. Huge event. This fight with Anthony Joshua, what is going on? What is going on?
What is going on is Jake Paul said in March of this year he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. People like you, maybe you didn't hear it, but people similar to you laughed at the idea. In July, I was here in London at Sky Sports, and I said Jake is going to do this fight in 2026. Everyone laughed. I don't know if you guys can see me. Sorry about the glare.
Little glare. We can see it still.
And we were going to fight Tank Davis first, and then Anthony Joshua. Tank Davis had a past. We accepted that past. Then he brought the past into the present, and immediately ourselves and Netflix moved on. And when we sat down with Jake, we said, who do you want to fight? And there was lots of fighters. Look at the list that have called them out to step in. He wanted to face Anthony Joshua or Terrence Crawford.
Wow.
And his biggest reason was, I want to show the world who I am, and this is my opportunity to do so. And
So-
to Joshua's credit, he was game.
So let me just say the obvious from a person like me. The difference in size between Tank Davis and Anthony Joshua. I mean, you're going from a mini might to a heavyweight. Like, this is the reverse of everything we've seen.
This may sound odd, but this is an easier fight for Jake to win, but a more dangerous fight for Jake to survive. And I say that because Tank Davis, one of the most skilled, one of the fastest, one of the most precise, and has knockout power. Anthony Joshua, big, long, powerful, but the mobility is not the same. So in a way, when you think about Jake, who's been training, focused on speed, focused on movement, now he gets to get in there with a guy he's going to have a clear speed advantage against. The other part, Dave, that most people don't pay attention to, the best heavyweight in the world is who right now? Who is it?
Best heavyweight? Who is
Usyk, that's right. Someone said Usyk, right? Usyk was a natural cruiserweight. He's fought Joshua twice, beat him both times. What did he weigh in at? 221 pounds. What did Jake weigh in to fight Mike Tyson? 228 pounds. So the weight difference is not massive. Joshua lost to a 220-pounder twice. He knocked out Francis Ngannou, who is obviously one of the greatest MMA fighters of the world in the past 5 years, but a novice boxer. So, there's a lot of risk here, no doubt about it. But there's a lot of glory too, and that's what Jake is looking for.
So you were fine with this right off the bat, because even the names and I like Jake. I like the Pauls. I've been on both. I think what you guys have done is incredible. I am not sold on his boxing. I haven't been since the Fury fight versus the brother, which I was like, Jake Paul is going to kill him. I was on the record. I lost a lot of money on that. Jake and I'm like, you owe me like hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's like, I'm sorry. So for me to go to this jump to a guy who is such, I guess the glory is there. Is there anything to what Robbie was saying? I don't know if you heard, where the risk is physical for Jake in that he may get knocked out. But if he loses to Anthony Joshua, a guy who is smaller, you still have the reputation of, well, I'm like a cruiser middleweight. I'm the best at that. And I jumped up out of my water.
I think, look, if this fight lasts 15 seconds, no matter what, that's not a great showing for Jake Paul, right? So I don't care whether it's Anthony Joshua or not. Anthony Joshua is not in the physical prime of his career, but he's still one of the most dangerous boxers in the world and significantly more experienced than Jake. And to your point that I've heard you say, he's not as old as Mike Tyson, obviously. He's about 25 years younger. So there's definitely a knockout risk. Does that impact Jake's future? No, but it wouldn't be great if the fight lasted 15 seconds. That's what I will say.
All right.
Would you take a decision loss as a moral victory?
I would take a great showing against an Olympic champion, 6-time world title holder, who is 36 years old, younger than Usyk, who is the best in the world, as a massive victory, right? I think just for Jake to go in there and show.
I think we lost them.
Yep, had him for a while.
We had him for a while. Thank you,
All right.
Nakisa, for coming on that. But I think he's
great.
right. To me, this is massive. Like for him to step up to this, and anyone who doubts the courage or anything like that, you can't. This guy is close. This is a real deal fighter he's going in. I can't wait to watch it. And maybe that's the magic of what they do. I watched the Tyson fight, even though I feel like I knew what was going to happen, and it did happen. And I will watch this fight.
This is a lot more exciting, too, than the rumored Nate Diaz rematch they were saying after Tank fell apart. I saw rumors, are they going to do a Nate Diaz rematch? That couldn't get me out.
I didn't really even care about Tank, to be honest, Bob. I didn't really care about
that
Tank.
Was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Too small. Too small. All right.
Well, Bob, before we let you go, Pub Punk coming up in Chicago. Tell the people where they can get tickets, where the show's going to be at.
I believe you can still get tickets at PupPunkRocks, RAWX.com. The last update we got, there was like 15 available. So you got to act fast, but we're going to be at Reggie's in Chicago. A ton of special guests, some people that you may see on Wake Up Barstool throughout the week. And it'll be a really fun show. I think it's going to be one of our best yet.
Yeah, and also remember, guys, listen to Spinning Backfist, Incredible Fight Podcast. That's
And My Mom's Basement as well.
And My Mom's
I also
Basement.
feel like saying there's only 15 tickets left is the oldest band trick in the book.
Nope. It's all above water, Dave, I swear. 50 tickets left. You're going to see later today, sold out on the Reggie's website.
Yeah, and if you're a nerd like me, again, like Brandon said, My Mom's Basement is awesome. Thank you, Robbie. Take it easy, brother.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's talk about when we get back here on Wake Up Barstool. We're going to recap one of the biggest events on the internet over the past few weeks, and that has been the Internet Invitational. Don't go anywhere inside.
Stock up, stock down, too.
And we got stock up, stock down. Hopefully I can keep mine up. More Wake Up. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here at FS1. It is that time of week. It's time for Davey Day Trading Global Stock Up, Stock Down. Dave, take it away.
Yeah, stock market, we just went live at 9:30, so we do this segment there, up. We've talked about, and a bunch of these are repeats. BYU Cougars way up. Everyone's doubting them. They win by 30. They are a playoff team. Bo Nix and the Broncos statement win. The Wolverines overcoming 5 turnovers. They are still on a collision course with playoffs on the line. Stock down. Bill Belichick. My God. I was in pain watching them play. I bet on them.
Yeah.
The way he coaches is befuddling. There's no sense of urgency to win the game. Then at the end of the game, Belichick calls a timeout with 27 seconds. By the way, North Carolina is at the Wake Forest is at the 4-yard line. The game's over. It's 4th and goal. Belichick calls timeout. All right, fine. Wake Forest has to go for it then. There's scuffle. Wake Forest scores on this play. Belichick then does this handshake move like he's somehow been insulted. He brushes by him at the end of the game. Watch this handshake like he's mad they scored. Why are you calling timeout? This is the second time he's called a mysterious timeout. Then after the game, they're like, hey, Bill, why'd you call that timeout? He's like, I thought we had a chance to win the game. What are you talking about? And by the way, play the clip. I guess we have it. I'll continue after. But by the way, you were huddling with like 4 minutes to go in the game in the ball.
Yeah. They look bad.
Hey, Bill, can you elaborate a little on the decision to take a timeout there at the end of the game? It looked like they were ready to take a knee and then did. Can you just elaborate on that decision?
I'm just trying to keep the game alive. I don't know what they're going to do. Block field goal, make a stop.
Listen, I'm used to this. I'm used to this short, curt answers. You got to be winning. This team had no urgency. He didn't look like he knew what the heck was going on. I tweeted out, it looked like an alien stole his brain. People are saying that I was equating that to Jordan. I wasn't. It just looks like a totally, totally different guy in every respect in the world coaching this team. It's shocking for a Patriot fan like me to watch. And then Frankie Borelli, the last stock down. For those who watch the Internet Invitational, there's an honest debate whether, knowing the circumstances, what was on the line, this is the worst shot in the history of golf. People are actually debating that, with a lot of people saying, yes, this is, knowing the circumstances, his handicap, look at that divot right next to him. He had no shot. That was the worst shot ever hit. And golf's been going on. It's one of the oldest games. Like, I think the 1700s, people have been playing golf. Stock down Frankie Borelli.
No, notice
I
it
did the
really,
thing.
it really hurts you to see that when you fell back laughing. You fell back all the way to the ground laughing with your face covered.
Did you hear me tell, don't look at him? I was trying to help my guy at that point. I did say at the end, I feel terrible but thrilled all at once. And that's actually how I felt.
So, listen, the shot being the shot, but the practice swing that creates the huge divot, you just know nothing good is coming after
No,
that.
he panicked. Yeah. And then he blazed.
You got to walk away. You got to walk
reset.
away after
You gotta
that
reset.
divot. Terrible.
So Frankie stock down for the shot, but stock got to be way up for the Invitational as a whole, no?
The Invitational was one of the most watched golf YouTube events of all time. People loved it. A lot of controversy. I got to address the controversy a little bit. I've heard mixed things like we've given bad edits. The golf community is a crazy community, so I think Paige Sporanic is getting it pretty tough. Mo is getting it pretty tough. I'll say this. We didn't edit it. We didn't give anybody a bad edit. We didn't do anything. This is what happened in the tournament, and we documented it fairly down the middle. Probably could have been worse for certain people. It wasn't. It's still a golf tournament. I don't understand the Paige thing. I will never understand the Paige moment of her patting down the grass because she is a competitive golfer. She clearly should know the rules, but at the same time, she's intelligent. There's a million cameras. I can't, in my mind, wrap around how she would do that if she thought it was cheating because it clearly would have been caught. So many different things, but overall, it was the perfect mix of drama, scandal, everything you want with good golf, and it really couldn't have come out better. For anybody who's attacking anybody online, we don't agree with that. I don't know how much of that's actually happening, but just an all-time event, and I knew it. I knew it when we wrapped. I knew we had absolute gold, and we did.
Yeah, and of course, the very touching moment at the end with beef and whatnot, tears streaming everywhere. Rest in peace. And I do want to remind you once again about the Cody B. Frank Scholarship Fund at Ferris State University. Of course, if you want to contribute to the fund, you go to ferris.edu/beef. That's ferris.edu/beef. This is a scholarship fund that will honor Beef's kindness and love for the game while supporting in perpetuity students at Ferris State University and sculpting young leaders to carry themselves both professionally and personally as Beef did with class. So, an incredible event all around and a very emotional into it as well. All right, kind of a tough pivot here, but back up.
Right back into stock up, stock down.
Stock down. Brandon Walker.
Here you go.
Impossible segue.
Yeah. Throw an alley-oop with a bowling ball. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. I've got stock up. I got the Georgia Bulldogs. 2 weeks in a row, they have played two of the best in the SEC, Mississippi State and Texas. They go to Mississippi State and they destroy Mississippi State, and then they destroy Texas 35-10 the other day. And it isn't just that they're destroying teams, it's that they're finally doing it. They struggled with Auburn earlier. They struggled with Florida a couple of weeks ago, but now they are playing like the Georgia Bulldogs ought to play. Noah Thomas, a legit number one receiver, is emerging for them. Gunnar Stockton is excellent. They finally run the ball a little bit against the Texas defense who's been salty all year. Like, this looks like a national championship team for the first time all season. Georgia is stock up. And stock down.
Can we close the door on Texas, by the way?
Yeah, that should do
closed.
it. That should do it.
Even if they beat A&M, right?
I just don't think there's going to be any room.
There's not enough room for a three-loss team.
There's no room at the end. Now, if they beat Texas A&M, it certainly forces a conversation. But I don't think with Vanderbilt going to be probably 10-2, with Oklahoma probably going to be 10-2. There's not
room.
Space.
Well, and we're talking about getting two Big 12 teams in, like USC and
Michigan beats Ohio State.
And don't forget about USC.
Yeah.
If they go into Oregon to beat Autzen, that's a fourth Big 10 team.
Too many mouths to feed right now unless it all clears up. We'll worry about Texas later. Stock down. I'm not a box score bozo. I watched the game. If you watch that game and you watch the first half of Texas A&M and people say, yes, they came back from 33. If you're down 33 to South Carolina, one of the worst teams in the country, with a bad quarterback and a bad coach, you have severe problems. Marcel Reed played the worst half of football I have ever seen in my life. And if you compound that first half with the fact that their schedule outside of Notre Dame has been one of the easiest in Power 5 football, you got to come to the conclusion that maybe this team isn't everything they're cracked up to be with this number 3 ranking.
I don't know.
We already
that,
had this disagreement. 30-3, third quarter. It says more about the comeback. A different question we haven't mentioned.
Also,
why?
How can you just discard being down 30-3 to South Carolina?
Again, because that's the exception, not the rule. That's the exception, not the rule with this team and with this quarterback.
They barely beat
Stock up, Marcel Reed.
Guys.
Stock way up on Marcel Reed.
Texas. What about the cop? We got to talk about the cop.
Yeah, he's the ultimate stock down loser.
He got suspended. Here's the clip.
This is
insane. He gets suspended. He does the wide. He's talking to him. Listen, I'm pro law enforcement. If you told me they fired this guy, I don't think I'd have a complaint with it. You have a chip on your shoulder, an abuse of power here. What in the world is this guy doing?
Absurd.
Walking now, you want to argue he's just an A&M fan, maybe you go down that route, but like, what the heck are you doing?
I mean, it is.
He yelled at him like he's going to arrest him.
It's clear he's an A&M fan whose feelings are hurt that they're down 27-3 to South Carolina, and he's looking to start some static. And then
here's the yell leader
knocking the ball out of his hands. Texas A&M fans didn't deserve to win that game. They were too emotional.
But now they've got a guy to rally around and fight for and win a national championship for. It's
the cop?
Inspiring story. Yes.
Oh my God.
No.
What about the yell leader? What happened to the yell leader? He should be kicked out too.
Yeah.
Casey's probably got a poster of him in her room. This guy, what happens to this guy? The yell leader, you can't do that either.
It was a bad half all around. It was a stock down first half A&M, stock way up second half A&M.
You want to say stock down A&M fans don't know how to handle success, from the law enforcement to the to the yell leaders, like they're in the national spotlight. They're acting like toddlers.
All right, my stock up. There was no other place to get this in the show. Jacoby Brissett, NFL record holder. Jacoby Brissett, 47 completions in a single game, guys. Jacoby Brissett's played a lot of football, and now the record books will reflect how long he has played. Shout out Jacoby Brissett. Stock
How old
down.
is Jacoby Brissett?
What?
How old is Jacoby Brissett?
That's a good question.
Got to be 37.
I feel like he's a 33 kind of guy.
32?
No, 32?
I mean,
No way
look
he's
at our
32.
guy,
He was a starting
dude.
QB after Deflategate, 32 years old, 1992 he was born.
Good Lord.
That's impossible.
Oh, and he's 33 in a few weeks.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
That's impossible that Jacoby Brissett's 32.
Shout out NFL record holder Jacoby Brissett. Also stock up Marcel Reed. Thank you, Brandon, for bringing that up. Stock way up there. And Meek, what do you got?
My stock up, 2 championship contenders in their sports, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the LA Rams. Now, it's one thing to be a championship contender. It's another to have a projected top 10 pick from an awful team. Oklahoma City has the Clippers pick, which should be a top 10. The Rams have the Falcons pick which will probably be a top 10 or 3 and 7. So congrats to them. You broke the sport. My stock down, small game Sam Darnold. We talked about that. Guy just sucks versus the Rams. And the New Jersey Devils, who had a birthday dinner with Frank the Tank, lost their best player to a freak accident. So, Jack Hughes.
Are they playing knife throw?
Have we checked into that? What happened?
I don't know what.
The Fleming curse remains undefeated. That's what happened.
The rumor is that he was getting up from the table and pushed on his glass, thus cutting him and severing a tendon.
Oh, my God.
You know what
Wait,
that sounds
that's
like?
a real rumor? No.
Yeah.
What?
He did suffer a tendon injury. It's an 8-week
It's
injury.
a tendon.
Oh my
It is a tendon.
God.
He pushed up on glass.
You know, my stock down hockey players in general. How is a finger injury 8 weeks? I thought these guys were supposed to be tough.
That's not a finger. That's a tendon.
A finger, you could grip a hockey stick with this.
Fingers are pretty important in holding a hockey stick, Meek.
It's just one finger.
Wait, Meek, I forgot. Meek actually told me before the show, Dave, I want to get your opinion on this. He wanted to do stock down Dave for claiming to hit a home run at Wrigley, but it didn't actually go out of the park.
I did not.
Who wanted to do down?
Meek said that
I
before
did
the
not
show.
do that.
Before the
This is
show.
lies.
Before the show, Meek was
You want
talking
to do
about.
stock up? You want to do stock up? My swing. My swing is so beautiful. Listen, Urban Meyer was a 10th round draft pick. 10th round, draft pick, Major League Baseball. Klatt, I think, was the 8th round. I made these guys look like little leaguers with this swing. This is just a beautiful work of art swing. It really is gorgeous.
I love to hate on Dave. It's a good looking swing, but I do want to know where that ball lands.
Meek, I'm just surprised you brought it up
For the moon.
Where did the ball land?
I got a late breaking stock down.
Who is it?
This tweet. Jay Glazer says the list of potential Giants head coaches include Mike McCarthy, Matt Nagy, and Arthur Smith. Yikes.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
That is
God,
stock down. That's the best you got.
Meek, how are we feeling
I hate
here?
all those names. I mean, Mike
Those
McCarthy-
are some. You might as well just kiss another 10 years of in what's the word I'm looking for?
Irrelevant?
When you're not relevant.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevancy.
Fire Joe Shane.
Liam,
Kid.
stock up, stock down.
Stock up is just ghosts in general. Ghosts had a big time with Halloween a few weeks ago. Ghosts having a bigger time picking off Sam Darnold, living in his head rent free.
Yep.
Stock down is B asterisk R stool. Doesn't even make sense.
Some people don't like us. Have you ever seen Bluttman? I don't know if we'll pull it up quick enough or even legal. The I see Ghost Darnold clip that I made, because the Darnold I see Ghost clip, that was after he played the Patriots, and he said he saw Ghost. And I did a little montage with what's the Bruce Willis movie?
Oh,
with
Sixth
kids?
Sense. Sixth Sense.
Sixth
I see
Sense.
dead people.
Yeah, I see dead people. So we did that with Darnold talking to Belichick bedside. One of my all-time gifts. I don't know what's legal anymore.
No. We definitely cannot use it. I'm here for production.
I
but
see dead people. It's
good
just
joke.
Belichick sitting there.
Nonetheless, not as good as my Rudolph joke, but pretty good. All right, when we get back, let's close out today's Wake Up Barstool. Don't go anywhere, guys. One more segment left.
This just I saw on I'm reading as the show's ending. Draymond Green got in a fight with a fan. I think it was last night, maybe. Face-to-face, jaw-to-jaw. The fan was screaming Angel Reese at him because he got a bunch of offensive rebounds and missed the putbacks. At first, he's like, it's funny. And then let me see if I got the exact quote here. It's ridiculous. These NBA guys, I don't understand like what world they live on. He just kept, this is from Draymond Green, he just kept calling me a woman. A woman's name. It was a good joke at first, but you can't keep calling me a woman. I get 4 kids, 1 on the way. You can't keep calling me a woman. I think we know you're not a woman, Draymond. Like he's making a joke about your game being like Angel Reese with rebounds and putbacks and misses. These NBA guys, like, they're so soft. Like, I get there's certain lines, but that's not one of them. Oh, you have 4 kids? You can't call me. We know you're a man, Draymond.
Me thinks the lady doth protest too much. What do we miss, nerds?
Josh Naylor signed with the Seattle Mariners last night. We don't know
No one
how
cares.
much money. Yeah, that's what we missed.
Nobody cares. Yannick Sinner didn't drop set ATP Finals back-to-back years.
Correct.
The Saskatchewan Rough Riders are the Grey Cup champions of the world. Congrats to Saskatchewan.
Go
I believe they are
Skach.
now 5-12 or 6-12 in Grey Cup Finals. Tommy Stevens 2 touchdowns. Big
Wait,
for you,
Tommy
Brandon.
Stevens, he
Big
what?
for
No
Brandon.
way, dude,
Also, we
let's
didn't talk
go.
about Jared Goff. It was 42 degrees. Take the right glove off your hand, dude. Missed every throw because of the glove.
Jared Goff.
Drops of God TV show, Drops of God Apple TV. Not the worst thing I've ever watched if you need a show. You can drink wine, kind of get into a little too much romance for me, but not the worst show.
Brandon?
They got it.
The worst Monday night game maybe of the season tonight. Total dud.
Who you got?
These primetime games have stunk. That game last night stunk too, but
I have a primetime theory. I won't say it on air.
okay, good.
Who do you? I don't like anybody tonight. How can you like anybody? It's a coin flip. I guess
Hey,
it's
boys.
at the Raiders, right?
One team's
I
not
think
the Raiders, so I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Halftime tie, perhaps, Quigs?
All right, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow.